Hi everyone, this is Sally, and today I want to talk to you about the top 10 things, the top 10 tips that I've given over the last 99 videos. So today is my 100th video, which is absolutely crazy to me. It feels like I just started this. And so I'm just super excited to share that. And I thank you for all of you that have subscribed to my channel and have been supportive. And I hope that you have found some blessings along the way. Um, and so let's dive in. I just want to talk about these top 10. And so, we kind of scrambled through and picked out the top 10 that I talk about frequently. And I'm just going to summarize them. I'm not going to go into them in depth, but just kind of an overall. So number one is don't enable, right? Enabling versus helping, and what does that look like? And really identifying that for you and your family. Number two is creating boundaries. So important to create boundaries, not only around your child for their own well-being, but around your own life as a mom. And so during this difficult time, you have to have boundaries for your own protection as well. And number three is enforcing those boundaries. And that's much different than creating the boundaries and often much harder. Really having a consequence for what happens if the boundary is crossed, and how are you going to handle the situation. So that is definitely something that most moms struggle with. Number four is almost number one in my mind, and it's self-care. Because without doing self-care, none of this other stuff is going to work. It really goes hand in hand with the enabling and the boundaries and all of that. So number four is self-care, and why it is so important. And also knowing that it's not selfish. It's actually not selfish. Number five is how we can't rely on validation from our kids. Doesn't mean it doesn't feel good when it happens. Doesn't mean you don't want it, but we can't rely on it, right? We have to know that we are worthy and we are validated even if they don't agree. Okay. Your life is not just as a mom, but you're also a woman, a human being. Some of you are wives. Some of you, obviously friendships, lots of different other relationships as well, which as a whole is fantastic, but you can't just rely on one of those relationships. Number five, that was number five. Number six is you can't control how your adult child will respond. Especially when you create those boundaries. You don't know how they're going to respond, but that's not your problem, right? That's not your responsibility. And that you can only control your actions to that. If you think it's really, we tend to want to create those boundaries that are going to be comfortable for your struggling adult son or daughter. And when you're in a really hard situation with them in the middle of this, it's pretty hard to find a boundary that they're going to be happy about. And just keep in mind that when they do react, and I've said this many times, but it really just validates that the boundary is truly needed. Number seven, love who is there with you. Love who's in front of you. If you have an estranged son or daughter, I know what that feels like. I felt that for a long time, and I had to learn to love who was in front of me. I still had two other children and a husband and a grandchild, and I needed to love who's in front of me. It didn't mean I didn't love my daughter who wasn't there, right? But we tend to spend so much time mourning who's not there that we forget who's right in front of us. Number eight is a question. It goes back to a question that many of you ask: is how can you stop worrying about your adult child? And that the fact is that you can't stop worrying for them if you're not in a healthy place, which is totally impossible. If you don't do it, goes back to that self-care. If you don't take care of yourself, it's virtually impossible to be able to focus on the things that are healthy and true and right. Number nine is connection over correction. Ooh, I love that one. Connecting with your child, regardless of age, making a connection with them over correcting them constantly. As moms, we tend to want to be fixers, and we tend to want to point out what isn't necessarily right or what we don't agree with. when in reality, it's their life and they have to make these decisions. And so connect with them over correcting them. And lastly, number 10 is when you want to grow personally, find someone that you can learn from who is where you want to be. And in addition to that, finding that mentor type person, but also finding someone to mentor yourself. So you're always in the middle. Have someone, and I don't want to say above you, but have someone who has been in the shoes that you're walking right now, a coach, a mentor, someone like that, and then have someone that you can mentor as well. And maybe maybe the mentoring part for you doesn't happen right away, but that's exactly what I'm doing. Is I've taken my pain, I'm using it for a purpose, and I'm coaching a lot of you through one-on-one coaching, group coaching, my workshops, and I'm going to be having many more workshops coming up. I'm working on all of that and all those details. But I'm just super excited and blessed and grateful for all of you. If you're new to this channel, I would love for you to subscribe. I do put out 2 videos per week, typically on Tuesdays and Fridays, and would love for you to join in. Feel free to make any comments that you have, any questions you have, as far as specifically around what would you like to see in videos? What topics would you like me to cover? So I hope this was helpful, the top 10 tips. If you are interested in any type of coaching, feel free to click the link below and you can sign up for a discovery call. It's 30 minutes with me and we can chat about your situation and I can let you know how I could be of help. In addition to that, also, we're going to put a link below to, I have a link where it gives you some more information on how to deal with a toxic child and what that looks like. And so if you want to get that information, you can click that link to get that download as well. All right. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.